Hello everybody, welcome to the Decks of the Weekend, my weekly video where I get to talk to you about the deck that caught my attention the most over the weekend in the formats that I am interested about. Today I'll start things off with Modern, my favorite format. I was very in doubt because there were two decks that were super cool in Modern. One was the Mono Red Reanimator Machine deck that I have streamed on Monday morning. This morning it will be go out tomorrow on my YouTube channel. Just check it out because it's super sweet. But then this decklist came out and this just must take the throne. So this decklist won the Sunday Challenge by Susurrus MTG, which is a streamer that I used to follow a lot when I was playing War Prison. And he just went XO, crushed the Swiss, then went 3-0 in the top 8, playing 4 copies of Atraxa Grand Unifier, the strongest card of Piracia Old B1 that is seeing a play in every format, from standard to vintage. Atraxa Grand Unifier, it's a legend, and this is very important in this deck because this is a Glorious Vengeance deck. Alright, so we're playing a mono black deck with Urza Saga, but we also have some other splash because of the sideboard. We have 1 Blood Crypt for 3 through the Breach, which is a great B plan if your opponent hoses your graveyard with something like Endurance or Unlicensed Theirs. They just go boom, B plan. Or you can also use Witherbloom command to kill Rest in Peace or Unlicensed Theirs. Unlicensed Theirs is tricky because it has to be no creature simply to crew it, but you know, you get what I'm saying. Okay, so we have mono black. You have Profane Tutor as a tutor target because you can enable, in order to enable the combo, you need 2 things, or maybe 3 things. You need a way to put Atraxa or Emrakul in the graveyard, and that is a Blood Fountain, because that makes a blood token. You have Underworld Cookbook, or in this case also Asmo, because it tutors up the Underworld Cookbook, or you have Collective Brutality. Keep in mind that Emrakul shuffles your graveyard, but you can respond to that with Glorious Vengeance, so you're able to reanimate both Emrakul and Atraxa. And once you've done the thing, you usually win. If your opponent sacrifices 6 permanent, it's usually all of them if it's early game, and Atraxa same thing. I mean, I have to say I have survived Emrakul's attacks even this morning on stream, but it is a corner case situation. We also play as a Saga that can fetch up the powerful Brain, so remember you can't fetch up Blood Fountain. You also have Burn Shards actually to discard the thing. But yeah, so this deck is cool. It's definitely something that I was like, wow, this is something that Aspiring Spike would stream with, but winning a challenge is no joke, so very much congrats to Susurrus. And again, I've seen Spike stream something similar to this. It wouldn't surprise me if the idea actually comes from him, since he invents most of the decks, most of the brews around here in Modern. This morning I streamed Aspiring Spike. Brew was a Gen Sacrifice, and also I have streamed another cool deck that's updated the challenge this weekend, Mono Red Reanimator Machine, so check it out. I'm gonna be playing this deck tomorrow, so that will also be on my YouTube channel the next days. Something cool that I can't wait to try some Atraxa in Modern, because I don't think I've seen Atraxa at all in Modern in important results. I've seen it like 1 copy in Color Creativity, but people immediately cut it afterwards. So this is definitely a card that we're gonna see a lot of, because guess what? We're gonna see more of Atraxa in the Legacy portion of my decks of the weekend. Last week I have streamed for Channel Fireball Sneak and Show, and it won the Mox Showcase. You'd be like, what's a Mox Showcase, Mango? It's an event that had over 270 players over on Magic Online, so that's a lot. And the top 8 gets an invite to the Mox qualifier, the winner gets an invite to the Mox, so it's a prestigious event. I've played on the Saturday one in Vintage. I made 19 plays at 6-2 with Mono White Initiative, which I also made a video about it, so it's gonna be on the channel in the next few days. But the Legacy one, I didn't compete. Sunday, I was busy, but I'm glad to see JPA, one of the master of Legacy, one of the master of Sneak and Show, still got it. The metagame might be hostile to you because of all the Delver decks around, but, JPA still does it. Actually, You see when my video on Channel Fireball comes out with this deck, I've beaten 3 Delver decks with this deck. So it's not as black and white as it seems. Of course, you have a lot of potential draw, right? You go Ancient Tomb Petal, Show and Tell, Force of Will, and then just Emrakul. One of the strengths of a Sneak and Show against Delver is that they can't deal with Emrakul. Some other decks have, you know, ways to deal with Emrakul, like, I'm thinking about Otawara. This spell can't be countered. I don't think I've ever Otawara this, but I think you can. Protection from spells that want more color. Yeah, I mean, I've Otawara just yesterday. I was playing my 8 casting Legacy, and I beat Reanimator, who went turn 2 Grizzlybrand, turn 3 Sarah's Emissary. I got to beat it with a Ether Spell on the Grizzlybrand, then Otawara and the Sarah's Emissary. So, Emrakul, you know, gets answered, whereas Atraxa doesn't, or rather it does, but you get to draw some cards in the meanwhile. And of course it's a blue card, so you can pitch it to Force of Will, which sounds like, you know, whatever, but it's really big. You're gonna see it in my video, how important it is. Like, sometimes I just keep Atraxa in my hand over Grizzlybrand or Emrakul, because I might pitch it to Force, or I might Show and Tell it into play, or Sneak Attack it into play, and it is relevant. So Atraxa wins the Modern Challenge on Sunday, wins the Legacy Showcase on Sunday. I mean, I'm just stating facts here. I'm not hyping up a card that I don't even have in paper. So, you know, there's no... sometimes it's funny, just, you know, since this is my platform, to talk to my viewers, just like the streaming, but it's only for YouTube. Sometimes people be like, oh, you know, the Channel Fireball guys just hype up cards so they buy more copies of. Never happened. I mean, at least for me. I never heard of it. I never seen anybody doing it. I'm definitely not hyping up cards because I spiked the price. I'm just telling you that, I mean, it's also part of my job to hype up cards, right? Because the reason why Magic is a great game is that new cards come out, lots of content, people want to see new cards perform, and that's why we don't play the game with the same cards. This is like poker, or I don't know, I'm sure there's many games like that, old school and pre-modern, where you play the old cards all the time. This is cool because new cards come in. Maybe they don't shake up format, but just because people put it in new decks, maybe have a great day and they win with it. I think it's very cool. Let's talk about Pauper finally, which is the third format for my decks of the weekend. Often, so you know, I play my Black-White Ephemerate. This deck I top a challenge with last Saturday. This week I've played no Pauper. Actually, no, it's not true. On Thursday I won my local league. You know, my we do every Thursday we do this league, and there was the final, the top 8. I won first place. I got the buy for Paupergeddon. That's exciting. I'll probably play this deck because I won with this deck. 0 game losses in the top 8. Very strong deck, very suggested. You can find it on my video and etc. But people ask me, what's the worst matchup? What's a deck that beats you, that you can't do much with it? It is Walls Combo. If you see my YouTube video, I lose to this deck 2 times. I go 3-2 losing to Walls Combo 2 times. And what's Walls Combo? Walls Combo. So this is the nose deck, as in, I remember playing with or against this deck. I actually have it built, but a long time since I played it. You actually have walls. Maybe they're not technically wall. I mean, this is a wall, but Axebane Guardian is not a wall, but like creatures with Defender, and you get a lot of mana. What do you do with a lot of mana? You have Career Ranger that produces so much mana. You have Drift of Phantasm, you transmute. You just have so much mana that you really can just chain transmute those. Get Raven the Graves, get more of them. Then you have Freed from Real, which you put on one of your walls. You need the blue mana for this one, for the Freed from Real. And then you untap and tap and tap and tap. And you get a lot of mana. And once you've done a lot of mana, you just kill your opponent with Valakut Invoker. Or with Secret Door, getting to the dungeon. I mean, paper it's super easy. Magic Online may be a little bit tricky, but if you can have infinite mana and venture into dungeon, you win. Same thing you do with Achurak and Allure and in Legacy. You have new card here in Shield Wall Sentinel, which is a 4-mana 1/3 that you tutor up a wall. So you can get an Axebane Guardian if you need an Axebane Guardian, or I don't know. I guess you just or you can get Drift of Phantasma if you need to go off, like you have a lot of mana, and this thing is also a combo. So that's the versatility of Shield Wall Sentinel. Very few lands because you play 4 Winding Wave, 4 Lead a Stampede. This is your way to outcard the black deck. Alright, but yeah, you have Obsidian Acolyte, which is protection from black, you have Crimson Acolyte, protection from red, you have Standard Bearer, which is, again, like Standard Bearer and Obsidian Acolyte are for the removal spell decks, like my black-white removal spells, ephemerate. But anyway, this deck is cool. It's very bad against the Karar Clan Shaman from Affinity, but if you dodge that one, you can get a good matchups across the board. Maybe it struggles against mono red, but I can see playing like a lot of walls, you just block their creatures and they need to burn the creatures and things like that. It's probably a bad matchup, everything that has red in it, but it's a good deck. Maybe I'll play this deck for the stream if you like to see it. I don't think I've ever played this deck on stream. I have played it in a couple of times in paper, but given the fact that I needed to buy the Drive to Phantasma, I would say that I've never played this deck for my viewers, so I can consider doing that. Anyway, this weekend I have 4 seasons. So I'll bring you plenty of stories in the next of the weekend for sure. In the weekend after at Naples, the RC in Standard, so it's gonna be cool. But yeah, in the meanwhile, a Mango video per day, a lot of content. I always answer your comments, so stay tuned, like, subscribe to the channel, and have a good day, everybody.